What's going on, Assassins? As you already know, Ubisoft has pushed back their first DLC another 2 weeks. And it kind of has the community split. And while you guys know that I usually have been crapping all over Valhalla, I want to give you some good news. This is not a bad thing. Why the change in heart? Why do I care? Why is this a good thing that they pushed it back 2 weeks? I'm Darkstrider, the YouTube Assassin. Let's get into this.
Have you got a contract for me?
So, this has the community split because a lot of people were expecting that 2 weeks from today we'd be getting the DLC, the Wrath of the Druids. Now, Ubisoft came out and said that it was going to be delayed another 2 weeks to the 13th, and there are a lot of unhappy fans. The thing is that what I want you all to understand, you know that this game is very bugged. I don't mind that they're going to take an extra 2 weeks to kind of clear this up because there are a lot of things they have to fix. Now, from what I'm hearing, and I don't know if this is going to be true or not, in 2 weeks, they're still going to do an update. So hopefully with that update comes a lot of features or fixes for a lot of the things that so many people are unable to do. Again, believe it or not, there are a lot of people who cannot complete this game, who have not completed this game, who are still stuck. They can't get their platinum, they can't get all their trophies, all their achievements, all because the game is still broken. So I'm hoping that this is going to fix a lot of the issues. Then in 2 weeks after that, they fix a bunch of their other stuff and we get the DLC, and the DLC is working day one. It's already embarrassing that this game is so broken 6 months later, and now we're going to get a DLC. What is it going to do? Let me tell you right now, if it bricks my next-gen systems, Ubisoft is going to have a serious lawsuit. They should already have lawsuits right now. We should be holding them in the same regard as we did with Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red, because it's really not fair. And the funny thing is that whenever I make a video where I kind of complain about what's going on with Valhalla, there are always these defenders that come to its side. And when I compare it to Cyberpunk, immediately they'll tell me, oh yeah, I turned Cyberpunk in, I got my refund and everything, and I still got to keep the game. So basically what you're telling me is that, you recognize crap. It's just a matter of, can you get a refund? Is it public? If it was, then you would refund Valhalla. Being that it's not, you're just a punk, basically. And what really makes me laugh is that some of those people even deleted their comments after having full-blown conversation with me because they didn't want to get dogpiled on by other commenters who just know that they're wrong. The general consensus, I would say, most people who play Valhalla are upset with the game. So, again, they still cannot complete the game, and I'm fine with them taking the time to restore it, to make it to what it should be. I personally am done with broken games. I don't want the DLC to be broken. We all know that Cyberpunk came out and it was absolutely just disgusting. There were so many people that were upset. It was taken off of the PS Store. That is unprecedented. We haven't seen anything like that ever. If it was just stuff like this where it kind of breaks the immersion, I'd be okay with the game. But there are some serious game-breaking bugs. There are times where you can't get in your car because it's floating. There are times where you can't do certain things because, there's just something broken in the game. And that's not just in Cyberpunk 2077. That's also happening over in Valhalla. And that's the problem. And I know there's a bunch of people, I never experienced any of that. I get that. And then there's also people, it's the pandemic. You can't demand things from the pandemic. Well, you know what? Outriders came out, and this game, I haven't had a problem, I think, ever. And I haven't run into very many people who have had problems. I know the first 3 days of this game's release, it did have a problem. It was down, I want to say, like 68% of the time, but they fixed it. They did a lot of work to it immediately. They're not waiting months. This is the game's first month, and it's playable. There are minor things that happen here and there which kind of break the immersion, like, you know, you go to open up a door and it just opens way too slowly, or foliage just blows up at a slow pace, things like that. But for the most part, this is a fantastic game. I really enjoy it. I've been putting a lot of time into this, playing solo, playing with my friends and whatnot. And again, this just came out earlier this month. And obviously it had to have been programmed even during the pandemic when it was at its height. So why do we not have the same success with things like Cyberpunk and Assassin's Creed Valhalla? I mean, it's kind of weird. And I know some people are like, oh, you know, this game is dead and everything like that. I don't know. I see a lot of people playing. I see more people playing this right now than I do Valhalla. And I know a lot of people were waiting for Valhalla. We were heavily waiting on the DLC. That's what we wanted. I know there's not a lot to do for those who have completed the game. And you guys really were waiting for the DLC. We've had a bunch of just trash content like, you know, the river raids and like these festivals which can be completed in a day or two. You know, they wanted something more. They wanted more substance. They wanted more meat. They wanted more reason to return to the game and just come about and play. And I'm going to tell you guys, for the first time since Valhalla has come out, since I've started complaining about what's been going on and everything like that, I have a lot of confidence in their decision to actually delay the DLC. To me, this seems like a move where they decided, you know what, we messed up, let's not mess up again. Let's make sure we've got this completely locked down and fantastic before we actually release it. And I am okay with that. I'm here for it. Hopefully, again, in 2 weeks on the 29th, they still release a patch which kind of fixes a lot of the stuff that they've got going on. That I would love to see. And then past that, in the 2 weeks afterwards, I'm hoping that the DLC arrives, it's completely playable, there are no issues with it, and again, I kind of have that confidence right now. I really do. I really feel like that was a smart move, that was a smart decision on Ubisoft's part to really, really ensure that they get this right. And they have to get this right. There are people that are already just shutting down. There are people that want to play the DLC and just be done with this game. They're not going to partake in any of the events or anything like that. And of course, with the events and whatnot, I'm still going to report on that. But right now, again, I feel that that was the right move. And I'll see you guys there on the 13th. But let me know, what do you guys think? Were you guys mad when you heard the news? Were you shocked? Were you just like, you know, that's Ubisoft, they suck? Or were you like, you know what? It probably is a smart move because I want to make sure that that game is playable and I want to be able to enjoy the game, to enjoy the DLC, and not try to figure out where these bugs are or what these bugs are and complain about that. You know, I'd love to hear what you think. Other than that, I really do hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe. It helps this channel out an awful lot. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, take care, be good, stay safe, take care of each other, and I'll see you guys in the next one.